Imagine waking up one day, and as you get out of bed, something feels off, like your room's been reorganized by someone. Just as panic starts to set in, you brush it off. Maybe you drank too much last night. But wait, your company has an important meeting today, and this doesn't seem like the time to think about it. You leave your house, head to work, but when you arrive at your office, you're shocked to discover it no longer exists. Confused, you might wonder, am I still dreaming? You call your significant other for reassurance, only to find that the phone number you've always had doesn't work. There's no other half. You've just crossed over into a parallel universe. This might sound like a plot from a science fiction movie, but it's not. Cases like this have been happening for centuries. Most of us have likely crossed into a parallel universe without even realizing it. Today, I'll share with you some incredible stories and theories about parallel universes. In 1981, researcher John Grant published The Possibility Tree, in which he documented a strange incident from July 1954 in Japan. A man who had just arrived in Tokyo from Europe approached customs and presented his passport. The customs officer, unfamiliar with the country listed on the passport, inquired about it. The man said he was from Taured, a place that, according to him, had existed for over 1,000 years. To the officer's surprise, the passport appeared real and was full of legitimate stamps from various countries. But the more the officer investigated, the more bizarre things became. The man claimed that Taured was located at the intersection of Spain and France, but the map showed Andorra instead. When the officer called the company the man said he was visiting, it turned out they had no record of him. Soon, it became clear that this man, with his strange country and impossible story, was caught in a very peculiar situation. Despite being detained in a hotel room with police guards, the man mysteriously disappeared the next morning. His passport was gone too. How did he vanish from a locked room on the 11th floor? To this day, this case remains unsolved. Was he a victim of a parallel universe shift? In 2008, a Spanish woman named Lailina Garcia shared her strange experience in a post that quickly gained attention. In her story, she described waking up one morning to find her room, home, and life altered in ways she couldn't explain. Things that had once been familiar to her, like her bedside table, suddenly seemed strange. She rushed through her morning, but when she arrived at work, she discovered that her office no longer had her name on the door. The people she knew had changed as well. Lailina soon found that her boyfriend's number didn't work, and when she visited his office and home, other people occupied those places. Despite seeking medical help, no one could explain her situation, except one psychiatrist who suggested she was under too much stress. However, Lailina was certain she was experiencing something far stranger. Her story, which had been shared widely, suddenly disappeared from the internet, fueling speculation that she had crossed into a parallel universe. Another case that has gained attention comes from a man known as the Man from the 90s, who allegedly crossed into a parallel universe. According to reports shared on online forums, this man recalled living in a universe where the 1990s lasted longer and certain major events in pop culture occurred differently. For example, he described hearing about TV shows, movies, and music releases that never happened in our current timeline. One of the strangest parts of his story was his memory of the way historical figures, like some political leaders and celebrities, had died or interacted with the public. When he started to notice these discrepancies, he began to feel that something was wrong. It wasn't just his memories. Other details, like street names and people he had known, appeared to have shifted too. Though his story is unverified and remains more of an internet legend, it highlights how some people believe they have slipped into an alternate timeline where even minor changes to the world around them seem to confirm their experiences. Many believe that these types of stories, combined with the Mandela effect, are clues pointing to the existence of parallel universes and the mysterious ways they may intersect. The famous hypnotherapist Dolores Cannon, known for her work with the Akashic Records, provided fascinating insights into parallel universes. According to her, these alternate realities exist in parallel to our own, and they split every moment based on choices we make. Each universe vibrates at a different frequency, which is why we cannot perceive them directly. However, sometimes we accidentally cross over into another universe, and when this happens, we might notice subtle differences, like a tree that disappears or a person with a different memory of the same event. Cannon also pointed out that typically people do not realize when they've crossed into another universe. The experience can last anywhere from a few minutes to several days, but in rare cases, someone might get stuck in another universe, never returning to their original reality. UFO researcher David Wilcock has suggested that the ability to travel through space and time is connected to the discovery of parallel universes. He believes that space travel, particularly through wormholes, allows us to access different dimensions. This process involves exceeding the speed of light, which transforms matter into negative mass, opening pathways to alternate universes. According to Wilcock, governments are concealing this knowledge because the discovery of parallel universes and space travel could cause mass confusion. If everyone knew that space travel could lead to alternate realities, it could have serious implications. So, it's in their interest to keep this information hidden. All of these stories and theories point to a fascinating possibility. Parallel universes may be real, and they could be far more accessible than we think. Whether through unexplained disappearances, time travel experiences, or even the secrets hidden by governments, the evidence seems to suggest that our understanding of reality is far from complete.